Hi there. In this video, Jen and I are recapping our house hunting trip from eastern Sicily, and let's take a look.
It's been a while since we recorded our thoughts. We went on a whole house search. Gosh, was that just last week? No. 2 weeks ago, that's right. And we didn't really talk about what we saw. You want to sort of give your thoughts and what we saw?
Sure, we saw, what did we say, 5 or 6 houses?
6 houses.
6 houses. And they ranged from, a very old house in Gianna that, was kind of, had seen better days.
But it had a great facade.
It has a wonderful facade.
Which lured us in.
But it was built by a builder who kept on adding on and adding on and adding on.
A builder with a needy wife, I think.
And you could tell. So that was an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Then we moved on to an orchard house. So small.
Oh my gosh.
Small farmhouse with
was nothing.
With a couple acres of lemon trees.
Gosh, they had lemon, orange, pomelo, cherries, almonds, I think maybe olives, maybe just a few olives. And the property was gorgeous.
Yeah, the property was gorgeous.
We found a great little spot where we could put a pool in amongst the orchard, maybe a little outdoor kitchen, but the house was not worth it.
And I mean that much orchard. I know.
There was so much orchard. I mean, I was just gonna rent it out to somebody to
sure.
harvest.
Our agent was telling us like the amount that you'd make from harvesting would probably pay for the house in 5 or 6 years. But it seemed like a lot. Yeah. But an interesting concept. Yep. And then we moved on to a house in the middle of downtown Piedemonte. That was a little creepy. There was an abandoned wheelchair. Listen, realtors, when you are listing a house, I know Italy does not do what we do in the States. There's no staging so far whatsoever. And granted, we're looking at all fixer-uppers that somebody or many people from a family have inherited and are trying to sell. But like, take out the old creepy, looking wheelchair, because it feels like someone
died recently. Even if that's not the case, it was like that was all that was left, was some crumbling walls and a wheelchair and a stair lift. And that place had just no character. It was weird. Like the stairs were really weird. Oh, we're going through a tunnel, so it's getting dark for a second. There were these stairs where you like walked out of maybe the kitchen or a room, or a family room, onto the pair of stairs that were already going up from, like 3 stairs below. It was an accident waiting to happen. It's probably why the wheelchair was there. And then we got surprised by the next one.
Yeah, which we're tentatively calling the palazzo. We don't know if it's technically a palazzo, but it's big.
I think our immobiliare, who is a real estate agent, keeps calling it the noble house. We just started walking through it and walking through it and walking through it, and there was just like another room, another room, another room, another room, another room, and it just like kept going and going and going, and we haven't even seen all the rooms yet. Wow, it's really dark in this tunnel. This is, this adds atmosphere to the video. Yeah. So it was very interesting, definitely piqued our interest, in a beautiful sort of secret garden, which was like, when we walked out after seeing room, we walked out, we were like, oh my goodness, there's like land here in the middle of the town. And then after that, we went to see what we're calling, I don't know, the White House, the White Castle, the White whatever. That's a funny name for it. It's not a castle at all. It's not a castle. But it's an interesting building in town, and it's the second floor There's a lot of space also on the first floor that could be beautiful, sort of indoor-outdoor space. We could do some really creative stuff there. It was used most recently as a laboratory and a school, but it's got gorgeous high ceilings. It was wasted on a laboratory. And it was, when they say laboratory, I think it's not like the kind of laboratory we think of in the US. It was also a really cool place, definitely on our list to see again. It has, part of it is being rented by an upholsterer who, let's just say in the nicest way possible, has a lot of stuff, and his stuff will be there through April, I believe. And there's so much stuff that we need to see it after. It's in all sort of the non part of the house that would be the house. It's in sort of the extra rooms that might become a studio and stuff, but that was a really interesting place. Definitely going back to that one when we can see the whole thing. And then we also went to an interesting, more, you know, countryside villa place. I guess a woman who had, I guess, a grown daughter had started building her sort of forever home. Took an old house and had it all on the inside, was all sort of they had a term for it, but
restoring inside,
making it strong and stable and reinforced, and they had done a really good job. I really liked what they had done. It's not necessarily the layout we would choose or what we need, so I don't think it's remaining on our list, but it was on really great land on Etna, and a realtor said, you know, it's a lot of land. We would put in a pool, but it could be a good investment to put in vines and sell it later, because everybody wants a vineyard on Etna, but that's not really what we're looking to do. So I would say it's on our low maybe list. If I have a brainstorm or other things fall through, I might reconsider it. It was also very close to the road, even though it had a ton of land, but it was across from what looked like was a beautiful multi-room restaurant across the street that's also for sale. So, you know, there's no neighbors right now.
Most of these places have been abandoned for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
In some cases a year, in some cases 5 or 10 years.
Or 15 or more.
You know, they were in many cases overgrown. In many cases on Etna they had leftover, they call it Sebbia de Etna, the sort of ash from the volcano.
Which kind of looks like a fine, something, reminds me of aquarium.
Aquarium sand.
Aquarium sand, yeah, the aquarium pebbles,
rocks.
Yeah. A little bit, but all black.
But yeah, that mast fell 2 years ago, and yeah, people still in these houses have
it's still
big,
there.
Big piles.
So you can tell how long the house has been abandoned. But anyways, that's what we saw last time. That's our update.